questions for any of the student athletes? If you'll raise your hand. Let's go back to the front.
Frankie, 19 points tonight. I guess, have you been able to think about your career ending yet?
It really hit me in the locker room just now, especially after fighting so hard, know that we could have won the game. Just the mental lapse. You go back and you play the year back over, and it's just disappointing that we didn't do better because we had a great team. We just let it slip on us on our part. It's just everything was come to an end. I just had to leave Auburn. It's just a great school and a great institution. I love it here.
Other questions for any of the student athletes? Front, go ahead.
Frankie and Josh, to end the season, again, we've been talking for weeks about how poor the season has been and how frustrating it's been for you guys, but to walk away and have the end of career be this way and have this be one of the worst seasons in the program's history, how is that going to stick with you and how you remember your time this season and your time at Auburn overall?
Frankie?
Most definitely, just give you something now to work towards, like on the basketball court. That's in life. When you're down, it's always going to be a down time for you in your life. You go through struggles, and I think it's one of the major struggles in my life, and I learned a lot from it. So hopefully I can carry on this into the field that I go into next year. So I don't take it as a bad thing. You learn your best experiences from your bad experiences. So I think it's good for us in a way.
Same for Josh.
I mean, it's not how you want to leave your legacy at the school. I mean, that's definitely not how you want to go out. But I mean, we fought, and you just got to walk out the door with your head held high. And hopefully, I know these boys next year is going to carry the torch, and they're going to do better things than us. So, yeah.
Did you have a question? Mark, go ahead.
Yeah, for Frankie, can you talk about what you guys did to make the comeback, tie it up, and then what happened the last couple of minutes why you couldn't take the lead?
At that point in time, we was clicking on all cylinders as a team, playing great team defense, boxing out, getting rebounds and making shots. Played with a lot of confidence during that stretch and just made, like I said, just a couple of mental lapses. That's all it takes with a team like that. And hit a couple of big shots and they head on to the end.
Okay, another question in the front row?
Chris, clearly you're going to want to be better than the next season that you did this season. You're going to be, unlike the two guys to your right, someone returning. What, in your estimation, needs to improve next season as a guy that's going to be assuming a leadership role?
Just attention to detail. Like Frankie said, we had a lot of defensive lapses that we had tonight that could have been avoided. So I think that that's the main thing we need to work on next year, and get like the younger guys and the freshmen coming in just to buy into how hard and how Coach Barter plays. So that's the biggest thing.
Go ahead, Fred.
Chris, on that N1 play with about 11 minutes to go and you tied the game, that was the closest the game got there in the second half. I know there's a lot more to go after that, but what did you think on that play? You make the steal and then make that bucket to tie it up, and did you think that you guys were going to be able to gain the lead at that point?
Oh, most definitely. That's what Frank said. We were clicking on all cylinders, and when I got the N1, yeah, I thought we was going to take the game, but like I said, the defensive lapses really held us back.
Other questions for any of the student athletes? Raise your hand. Okay, fellas, thank you. You can return to the locker room. And we'll continue on with questions for Coach Barbie. So raise your hand and we'll get a mic to you. Hands up for Coach. Start right in front.
Tony, can you talk about the offensive rebounds? Looked to be a key stat tonight.
They're a big team. They're big and physical. We've been outmanned at the 4 spot all year long, playing small. But those guys, Al and Noel, fought their butts off in the paint. I just, told the guys disappointed about the rebound stat at halftime because it was the #1 key for the game. And us, I think they had 6 offensive rebounds at the half, and we had none. And it was a -9 at half, and that being the #1 priority. So just disappointed that rebound number, given that it was the #1 key for the game today.
Hands up, other questions? Right to left, go ahead.
Yes, Coach. There were moments and it seemed like all year where you were, 2, down 4, making a mistake. They hit a 3. How many times have you just relived that in your head all season where you're like, we were 2, 3 plays from making it a game, and then we would lose it on 2 or 3 plays?
Well, I haven't replayed it at all. You know, you have to look ahead. And after the season's over, now that it's over, I'll spend time reflecting on why things went the way they did, and try to get better from there. Because that's all we can do. Thinking about what happened in the past, and harping on it as the season's going on. Obviously, you watch tape with your team and your players to then try to eliminate some of those mistakes and breakdowns. But you know, it's just disappointing that we had opportunities in more than our fair share of games this year, and we couldn't get over the hump.
Hands up, other questions for Coach Barbie? Raise your hand. Okay, front row.
Coach, heading into the season, you felt that this was going to be your strongest team and it was going to be your best team. By results, it was not. How was it that you so misjudged how this team would end up performing?
I didn't misjudge anything. I didn't misjudge anything. Your win-loss record, at the end of the day, doesn't indicate why the season went the way it went. And like I told the team after the game, that a lot of disappointment, a lot of frustration in that locker room, but I told every one of them that I'm the coach of the program and I'm the leader of the ship, and it all falls on me. And I took full responsibility in front of those guys on where this season went. And challenged them, like I told them I'm going to challenge myself. We all got to get better so we can come back next year and make sure that next year doesn't go the way this year went.
Other questions? Raise your hand. Any other questions for Coach Barbie? Raise your hand. Okay, front row.
You mentioned the power forward. We talked about power forward, point guard. Are those 2 positions that you're going to have to focus on going into next year?
Focus on in what way?
In terms of developing players at those positions. So,
Yeah, we focus on developing our players every single day. And whether it's the guys who are returning or the incoming recruits, we've got to make them all better. We've got to make them all better to avoid what happened this year.
Okay, we got time for one more. Anybody? Okay, thank you very much.